Hi, and welcome back to our Building a Website from Start to Finish series. We're getting pretty far along in the project now, and as you can see, our buckets are getting pretty close to done. We've got the main thing we haven't really touched on yet is the kind of center splash area there. But let's focus on our buckets a little more here. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a div around the we're going to kind of wrap the middle and bottom part of the bucket. We'll call that bucket details. And we're going to put this after the bucket bottom. And copy this comment here. And we need to kind of tab this stuff out here. Alright. And what the goal is here, and again, if you can think of a better way to do it, go for it. But I'm doing this on the fly. So, we're going to make the bucket details house the background of the bucket that we saved out of Photoshop. And this header is going to have the background of the header image. So we're going to give this a class here. We'll call it bucket header. Not to be confused with the musician. And let's come in here and in our bucket rules, again, I'm going to do some copying and pasting to save time. And we're going to add a background image. We'll browse. And again, since we have a naming convention, we can find it very quickly. And go ahead and copy this. If I remember right, we called this the bucket body. And we want to turn the repeat off on both of them, so we can copy and paste that down here. The background position, top center. Same. Now let's flip over to Photoshop. Here's the header. Let's go ahead and highlight that whole thing, or just do Control A for select all. 240, we already knew that, but the height is 62. And let's flip back to Photoshop and let's find the body, which I think is right here. Control A, so 281. Let's go ahead and copy this. And again, as I mentioned, these buckets are going to be kind of a static size. And save this. Come over to our source code. Let's go to split. We need to strip all or most of the properties out of this. So let's come back over here and let's do our margin and padding. Let's go ahead and copy this, paste it, and we'll make that 0. So now they should butt right up against each other there. And just to be proper, we'll go ahead and toss that in here too. Let's drag this out a little bit. Now we've got this here, which we're going to replace with our image. So let's go back. Let's go ahead and save this and go back to our source code. Let's go ahead and remove this, and we're going to do similar to what we did with the Learn More button. And that is go ahead and drag the basic plan image here. And we'll call it, so we're going to have to do some moving around here. Let's go ahead and go to total code view here so we can see better. And like we did with the other ones, go ahead and just copy this and come down here and paste and change this to economy. And I'll go ahead and do this one too. Change this to deluxe. Let's save that and let's split the view. So there we go. Now what we didn't do though is each one of these buckets needs that div that we created so we can have our background. Let's go back to the code view. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy this top part and paste it first and then come back and do the bottom. So hopefully you're following along with me. And let's grab the bottom. There might be some tidying up we could do. So now if we go to split, we should start seeing some, yeah, it's starting to look good. So let's now work on this H2 here. Try and fit this in on this video. So let's see. Let's bump it out from the left a little bit and see where we want it. Let's try 20. Oh, sorry. We want that to be padding. We'll try 20 pixels. There we go. Looks about right. And a little from the top, maybe 20 again. That's a little too much. Now what we're also doing though is we're adding to this div, so we need to subtract whatever we've added here on the height and width, or just the height, I mean. So because I'm tired, I'm going to use my calculator, and simple math is it's past me right now. So 62 minus 15, it's easy enough. So this should be 47. And that bumps that back up. And again, that's because of the box model, so you really should read up on that if you don't understand it. But we're starting to look pretty good here. Now, we didn't actually do these in the template, so let's take a look at the actual original design we're kind of getting this idea from. And I might take this time to note this project is pretty close to their design, a little closer than I thought it was going to be when we started. So I'll make a little disclaimer here. Don't use this project that we're building here for yourself. Use it as a tool or a reference, but if you're going to use any of this, I would definitely go through and really make it your own. You don't want the tech notes guys getting grumpy with you. Yeah, okay, so here's what we have. So we need to style these list items, and I think I have enough time in this video to at least get that started. Let's zoom in here really quick. Let's see what color gray this is. DF, alright. It looks like the this is somewhat of a subtly dark gray for the text. So, alright, let's do this quick. We have no bullets, so we want to get rid of the list type. So that is none. Oh. If you remember, we're not using the straight bucket class anymore, so this needs to be bucket details. Okay, so list style, that is, not type. None. There we go. Color. And we'll just make it a dark gray. Maybe 3s. I did too many. There we go. Make sure it's 12 pixels. Font size. See what 13 looks like. Well, I think we were actually on point with the 14. Yeah. And we need to do a border. Bottom. 1 pixel. Solid. And if you remember, it's DF, DF, DF. Just a light shade of gray. And we're not seeing that because I put PZ, not PX. And there's that. So we're gonna want, I mean, there's some default padding and margin that comes with these lists by default. So let's strip that out and make it our own. We want let's say 20 pixels on the right and the left. So just go ahead and strip these two out so we can do so. And to make it a little bigger. That looks about right. And then our padding, let's go ahead and copy and paste this here. Make that 0 again. And we want to add some padding on these list items so that there's just some buffer between them. And we'll say, let's just try 5 on the top and bottom. And that looks pretty close. Now, we do need some buffer from the list itself and the header, so margin on the top and bottom, we'll say 10 pixels and see what that's like. That's about right too. It's about the right distance from the price as well. So you can see this starting to really come together. What I did notice is our bucket seam, there should be 4 list items, and that's why it seems smaller. So we'll go ahead and add a new list item for each one here. Call it feature 5. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, but this will conclude this video here, so you don't have to watch me do this, but I'm just going to put a new list item on each one.